Hey, this is Dayspring with Power of X-Men.
This is Sailor Tortilla.
This is Miracle from Magical Melody.
This is Brooke with the Sailor Moon Fan Network, and you're tuned into Double Moonlight Justice
With Z and Grayson.
Hello?
Oh, hi, G. You had me singing here.
I was like, hi, Z. And you're like, I was like, maybe she's talking to someone right now.
Oh, no. I was just singing banana phone to myself. I heard like static on the other side, but I didn't hear you say anything. Just keep singing.
I was like, I'll wait for her to finish talking.
No, it's just me being silly in my room. Nobody cares.
So what did you think?
Oh my goodness. I have... So I'm not gonna lie. I did say I was gonna take notes while I was watching. And I took so many for Act 1, but I left off on the second act.
Oh my God.
I wrote like 2 notes and I got too immersed. And I was like, that's kind of funny. But I loved it. I get immersed.
Yeah, I was watching it and I was like, I must have not been paying attention too much to the 2018, 2019 version because I don't remember none of this. So this should, we're talking about Nogimyu, so I'm like, oh, it won't take that long. But it's like, when does it ever not take that long? When we're talking about
I don't
Sailor Moon.
know. It's just a gist and general summary type thing.
It was a lot of fun though.
It was fun. And now I have a part 2, part 3, and a part 15. You can never stop talking about Mew. You can never stop that.
I know, especially it was like right on the heels of the 2024 version. I was like, you know what? And then when you told me you could watch it, I was like, oh, it's over. We're gonna have to.
Oh yes. Shouts out to peeps in the CS Ready Discord, because I was losing my mind at like 3 a.m. like, whoa, where did you find these? Yeah! It's a lot of caps. A lot of stuff in all caps.
Me too. I'm wondering. I'm like, I wonder if Z feels the same way that I do, but it's like we both watch different versions, so I'm like, oh, I don't know if Z's gonna make the same correlations as I did. It was really good. Like it was like once you hear my notes, you're gonna be like, oh.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let me, so I just like, how we do.
Yeah. I hope. I was too invested. Like, oh.
You will kind of, oh yeah, I like da 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 da.
Yeah. Just like go one another.
Right. Yes.
Oh, do you hear it?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay. So I wonder, such a neat comparison. Gee, you're so cool. Oh my gosh, that's such a really neat comparison. I like that.
All right, we're gonna get started. 3, 2, 1.
Moonlight, justice.
Hey Sailor Guardians, you are tuned into the second season of the Double Moonlight Justice podcast. Moonlight Justice is a fan podcast dedicated to the multifaceted universes of the hit manga anime series Sailor Moon. I'm your host, Grayson.
And I am your host, Z.
On Moonlight Justice, we adhere to the power of 3. The power of 3 are principles we abide by as your Sailor hosts. 1. We will practice controversy with civility. We will respectfully discuss our thoughts and opinions without a feeling of judgment. 2. Things can always be discussed constructively and positively. And 3, we will not engage in racism, xenophobia, phobias, or triggers. However, these topics might be addressed in correlation with our discussions, and we'll be sure to provide a trigger warning beforehand. With all that said, let's get started. So this past week, the final performance of the 2024 Nogizaka46 5th Generation Musical has wrapped. We want to shout out the Sea of Serenity Discord, which is part of seaofserenity.net, for giving us the opportunity to watch this latest Nogimyu.
Yes.
As a special bonus episode, Z and I will give our first Moonlight Justice review of the 2024 5th Generation Sailor Moon Nogizaka46 Musical. Z watched the Team Moon performance and I watched the Team Star performance. But before we jump into a review, Z,
Yeah.
without diving into details, how would you rate this musical and what were your initial feels?
Oh my goodness. I genuinely give it a solid 9.5 out of 10.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. There are some things that I wanted to see going into this musical, and based off of the original promo photography that they had, I was like, okay, this is getting my hopes up. These are the few things that I'd like to see, and this musical genuinely exceeded my expectations and really went above and beyond, low-key literally, with some of the stuff that they do in this musical. So I loved every little bit of it, very much so.
Okay. I think I would also give it like probably a 9 out of 10. While there were some little tidbits that I wanted to see, there was definitely an improvement over the 2018-2019 versions of the musical. My initial feels, I was definitely more immersed in this particular musical compared to the previous version. So I think that that's definitely a step in the right direction for this series, and I'm hoping that they will continue. So those are my initial feels.
It's a dream.
So we're going to go ahead and jump into Act 1 of the musical. Z, you watched Team Moon and I watched Team Star. And so go over your initial thoughts, notes on Act 1.
Awesome, excellent. So this is going to be low-key in order. Honestly, if you're watching the musical and you read all my notes and hear all my notes, you'll see where I made my points. So these are also going to be blurbs. Some of them might be full sentences, some of them aren't. Okay. I will explain them further.
Okay.
But opening visuals are stunning. Oh my gosh, how they do Usagi's dream in the beginning is amazing. Tug's vocals are everything. The opening song as a whole is amazing. I also loved how they do the hair choreo as well while Usagi is rigged up in the air. That's a little detail that I noticed that I thought was really, really cool. I personally kind of liked Usagi getting ready in the original, like 2018-2019 version, like her in her PJs and then getting into her seifuku.
Okay.
But I enjoy the visuals much more in this version. Also, the background dancers being in like casual clothing and stuff is a nice touch. I can't remember if they did that in the 2018-2019 version.
They did not.
Excellent. Okay, cool. Luna puppets. I like the puppeteering. It's a really cool aspect, but I personally wish that they pulled the Nogimyu a little bit, or maybe even reference all the way back to Bandai Mu, like having somebody like play Luna on stage. But the puppeteering is like a really
I was pitching the same thing.
The brooch being a communicator of sorts was neat.
Yeah.
The general's entrance was everything to me. It gave me chills. The masks that are utilized at the jewelry shop are so much more horrifying to me. It gives more manga vibes compared to what they originally looked like.
Yes.
The henshin, Moon's henshin is everything. I love Moon's actress. Nog has a really beautiful voice. The note into the yell/growl that Kunzite has is utterly phenomenal. Kunzite's actress really loved what she was doing, and it showed.
Yes, it did.
Lucio Mask's vocals are super duper strong.
Yes, they are.
When he comes in to help Sailor Moon do her attacks and stuff, I loved every little bit of it, and I love the little movements that he does as she sings. That's another nice little touch. The Moon Tiara Boomerang effect was amazing. I love how they executed that with the pink lights and everything.
I'm loving how similar our notes are right now. And we watched two different versions, so I'm glad.
Oh yay! That makes me so happy. And then the pretty confident smile at the end of Moon's Kumikyoku was really cute. And I loved her variation on Oshokyo. I don't know if Star's Moon does it, but it's just a little vocal inflection that she does at the end of hers within Teen Moon's version that I love. And it's so cute and just so Sailor Moon.
Okay.
I have Strike a Pose Vogue. I cannot remember what that's in reference to, but it's on all caps, so I love it. The harmonies are great. Ami's actress is very sweet within Teen Moon, and the gentle nature that she has reminds me of Rika Izumi, who played Sailor Mercury in PGSM.
Yes. Okay. Remember how I was saying, like, oh, I hope our notes are similar? They are definitely similar.
Oh, fantastic. Oh my goodness. How they do the intro into Unmei for Mars is different, but it's a nice kind of different, like how they do their little medleys. Like, all that, I love that. Jupiter and Venus being silhouetted during said medley of the song is really nice.
Yes.
I cannot recall if that was something that was done in previous versions, but I love that. That also gave me PGSM vibes.
Right. Okay.
The lights are amazing. Whoever was the stage manager for the show, big props. The lighting is phenomenal. Beryl is slaying. The visuals in her song were really great.
Okay.
Jupiter's suite, which is one of my fave makeup suites out of all of them, was really freaking good. The chills, the echo of them transforming, so many chills. The fact that she's like lifting people up and they're really showing her strength within her makeup suite was everything to me. Nephrite's note, I can't remember what note, but there's a note that Nephrite sang that was insane and just made me have to almost throw my shoe. Sailor Planet Attack?
Yes. Oh
okay.
my God. I literally have that written down the same way. Sailor Planet Attack.
Hello? Sailor Moon suspended in the air? This eats? Okay. And then there's an In the Air duet. I'm pretty sure it's the song Memory I Know Kyoku. That gave me Triple Dreams energy. Like them suspended in the air singing that duet. And I'm pretty sure the other Senshi come in and sing. Triple Dreams is a song that's sung within one of the older Bandai musicals in the first stage. It's like the closing song of Act 1. Okay. And it's so amazing. And that is all of my notes for Act 1.
Okay. All right. So I watched Team Star, so I'm gonna do the same thing Z did. I'm gonna just hop right in. Literally, these are just notes. I'll probably expound on some of them, but mostly it's just like my reaction. So
yeah.
Opening scene, I was like, Z was right about the wire work. Initial wire work was distracting. In the musical, because they use the stairs in the 2018-2019 version. So, but I did note that the wiring was a little bit distracting because they had those hoops around their waist.
Yeah.
I was hoping that'd be a little bit more streamlined, where they had like maybe hooks like in their costumes to kind of like give it a better illusion of them being suspended in air. But it was definitely a better choice. I loved Star Usagi. Her voice is deeper than the Moon version, which I thought was very interesting. So that kind of like took me back. The stage and LED screens look really good.
Yes.
But I feel like the 2018-2019 version had better placement for their LED effects and stuff like that. Because I watched the original 2 last night. So I think that having the screen mainly at the top of the stage kind of took away from the illusion, because a lot of stuff was happening on the bottom half of the stage. So I was like, maybe there should be more LED screens or LED effects to kind of give a better interpretation of the scenery, because in the original version, the effects were all over the place. So it didn't matter where the cameras were pointing at on the stage, you were getting a sense. So I know how you were saying that you liked Usagi's waking up sequence. I like it better in the original version.
That's interesting.
Because of the PJs and stuff like that, her changing into her clothes and her running through the city is definitely a bit more comprehensive in the original. Like I got a better sense of what was going on. So I definitely saw the difference between those two. I wish that there was. So yes, stage LED screens looks good, but it definitely could be better placed. Puppet Luna was still distracting. Like, I still see the person there. I made a note later. I'm going to go ahead and bring it forward. I wish that Luna wasn't strictly a puppet. Like, maybe there were a better way to just puppet her from like a rafter, you know,
okay.
rather than her being commandeered by a person. I don't know if they tried it or not, but I just feel like it would give a bit more realism and believability to Luna without having a whole human being behind her. Or like you were, and I was saying, like, when you made the note about, I wish they would have used like the LED screens to give the cat silhouette, or have a person play Luna. I think that probably would have been better.
Cool.
I said I did wish that there were actual sets like the classroom, just to give it a bit more realism. I liked the 2018-2019 version because they were utilizing the doors and the sliding windows to kind of give a sense that there was a classroom behind stage, which I thought lent a bit more realism to what they were doing. Because it was like Usagi being locked out the classroom, but the classroom's right next to her, kind of like... it reminded me of a musical that I watched. I watched The Color Purple here in Las Vegas at the Smith Center. And I was a bit disappointed because it was all one stage setting. Like in the original Broadway version, there was a lot of like costume changes and stage changes, and they eliminated all of that. So that's kind of like the feeling that I got from watching this classroom scene. It was like, you guys could have built a set. Like, you guys trying to like, kind of like give into imagination is kind of like lacking for me. So that kind of like threw me off. I love Naru and Umino.
They are great.
They're really cute. Mamoru was chef's kiss, just perfect. I was like
immaculate.
Like, it was a great intro. I did note that Star Usagi gave me Satomi vibes just by watching her. So I was like, okay. She didn't know we're amazing. And you were right about Kunzite. Kunzite just was in it to win it.
100%. Like, oh my gosh.
Yes, and so if you ever get a chance to watch the Moon version, I need you, the Star version, because I need you to see Star Moon's intro, because I got chilled. I was like, oh. I know that in the last episode we talked about, I was like concerned about the costumes looking cheap. All that has gone away completely because I made a note. I was like, the costumes look amazing. I literally have Kunzite with a whole bunch of exclamation points after that because Kunzite was like amazing. So
I love Kunzite, man. It's just everything.
Watching the Sailor Moon makeup suite, I think it would have been a cool idea to have Sailor V teach Sailor Moon her moves and stuff like that in comparison to Tuxedo Mask. I think that would have been a great way to bring Venus into the fray earlier, give a nod to Sailor V, and basically kind of like give her that Tuxedo Mask moment where she appears, she helps essentially like awaken their powers, and then she's off, and then Tuxedo Mask comes in and saves like Sailor Moon from whatever, right? I think that would have been a good idea. Moon Tiara Boomerang. I love a good attack in a musical.
Oh yes.
Tuxedo, again, Tuxedo's very cool. Watching Zoisite, I felt like she gave Kuroki Mio vibes from PGS.
Yeah.
I definitely felt that. Wadada Da Kingdom, all caps.
Same.
I was so geeked.
Same.
I said Kunzite gave me Tuxedo Mask vibes. I said, we know where Tuxedo got his move from. So,
it checks out.
Yes. The Stendo vocals were amazing. I got chills from them too. Jadeite was amazing, and they reminded me of Chieko Kueba.
Oh my goodness. I'm not alone.
Yeah, so I did kind of circle back. I was like, I think better screen placement to convey the classroom school would help, especially since a lot of stuff took place at the bottom level of the stage. Ami-chan in the Star version was very cute. Got PGSM Mercury vibes initially. I actually liked. I did do some highlights of the Moon version, and I feel like both Mercuries were probably like really good. Like they definitely both gave me BGSM Mercury vibes. The coverings. I stopped with the coverings. I did not like the coverings. They weren't as distracting, but I could tell they were.
I was wondering if you were gonna make a note.
I
about
did.
The covering. That was like the first thing I noticed. I'm like, that's really smart in hindsight.
Yeah.
But it makes me wonder.
Yeah, it was just like I feel like I know that it's for timing and pacing, but I think that if they took some notes from Bandai and Nelke, they could have gotten away from using the coverings like all together. Like we were saying before, bringing in a body double, having them do like the initial movements while they're backstage changing, like probably would have been a good way to kind of get away from the coverings. Because I guess if you're like far away, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
you can't see it.
Yeah.
But it's like when we're watching it and they're doing like close and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, you look so bulky. I did say merch ideas, Miyu Propicas. I don't know why I said that, but it just came into my head. So I don't know if it was Moon's. Oh, the pins and the brooch. I was like, I would really like one of those.
And it glows up. That would be cool.
I like the interpretation of the Mercury Zoisite stage before Mercury transforms. It's definitely better choreographed in comparison to the 2018-2019 version. Star Mercury's voice was amazing. She's very cute and demure and very elegant. I could see the actress in the Star version playing Neptune and Miyu.
Interesting.
Zoisite was definitely like a lot more animated and like she looked so crazed when she was like Zoe. I was like, oh my god, they are really owning this role right here. Mercury's hair is darker in this version in comparison to the 2018-2019 version. I thought. Star Ray was really good. Star Ray in the Star version of the musical reminds me of Ayaka Komatsu, who plays Venus in PGSM.
Yeah. So
I was like, I could see her like playing a Venus. She has a raspy voice and is so good. I may have known this. I wish Tuxedo Mask had Tuxedo Smoking Bomber or a cane. Him swishing around in that cape was just like, I'm like, come on, y'all.
The cape choreo's everything, though.
Akurio Taisen was really good.
Yeah.
That was in all caps in my notes. So the scene of them together was really touching. Kira was really pretty. Beryl gave me Bandai Beryl vibes.
Yeah, I agree.
And I like made a note. I was like, I'd love to see a Wicked like musical version for Beryl. I think that would have been a cool thing to see. I said, Kunsai is like stealing all my moments. I was like, love Kunsai. I could see them being the next Riona Tatemichi because they're just like so versatile. I could see them being like a Tuxedo Mask or a different character. Like it's just like they were just like really good. Beryl's voice was amazing, and her reaching for Tuxedo in the mirror was really good. Yes. She ate. I was like, let me just take a note out of Z's book and just say, Beryl ate. She devoured.
I know she slays. Like the fish was in her song. Oh my gosh. She ate.
Star Mako-chan gave me PGSM Mako-chan vibes. So if you get a chance to watch the Star version, I think you'll see what I'm talking about. The one thing I noticed about the Moon cast is they look younger. Like they look very young in that particular version of the musical.
I was looking at their birthdays, and most of them were born in like 2003, 2005.
Yeah, and the Star team seems to look they're a little bit older. What else did I say? I said I like this version of the Masquerade for Nogimyu, but I like the dresses better from the original 2018-2019. I also think that Zoisite and Jadeite could have switched roles.
I can see that.
And this happens in the original 2018-2019, but I like how Tuxedo Mask keeps his mask on for this musical.
Yeah.
Again, I wrote Kunsight again. So Kunsight is still in the show for me because I literally just said Kunsight, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
Can I add a note for Kunsight?
Uh,
Because Kunsight's actress was a member of the Takarazuka Theater, yeah, from 2012 to 2022. So I wonder if like that experience
most likely
plays like a role in that.
Yes.
Because she ate.
Yes.
100%.
Yes. Jupiter Power makeup, definitely a highlight for me. I like how the trio disappeared below stage rather than like, because they don't have the doors anymore, because in the original version they disappeared behind the door/window. And in this version they went under the stage and they came back up in their costumes. I said Tuxedo at least needed a cane. As much as I like Jupiter, it seemed in this particular performance, it seemed like she was like very self-conscious and a little bit stiff. But I still liked her. There was like a kind of like a misstep when lifting the person up into the air. The moon version of Jupiter had it down pat, but it was like she missed her. But in the star version, she missed her mark just by a little bit. I love the city scene with the Dark Kingdom and the Forest Senshi. Love the attacks. I like how they mix them up similar to Le Conquista.
Yep.
Sailor Planet Attack.
Yep.
And my next line, Z was right about the wire work. I felt that the tuxedo mask Mama reveal was very touching. I said, ooh, this tuxedo was good.
Yeah.
Wire work was definitely a good choice.
Yes.
Venus in all caps. Venus Love Me Chain. OMG. Star Venus is amazing. It's like you have to watch our version because Star Venus is amazing. She's very cute. I think that both Venuses are cute, but the Star Venus kind of like gave me Team Moon 2018 Venus vibe. Like she was eating everybody up.
Interesting.
Still my favorite part of the musical, the Sailor Venus part. It would have been cool for Sailor V to interrupt and transform with Venus Power makeup rather than her coming with Venus Love Me Chain. That was my idea for that particular scene. I think that would have been really cool for that reveal. Like, oh my God, Sailor V is Sailor Venus. So, Star Moon Scream stole my soul. I was like, oh, it broke my heart to see her scream like that.
Just in pain.
Luna's voice revealing Princess Serenity was very touching. The Senshi talking and remembering together was very emotional.
Yes.
During the singing, I think it would have been a good opportunity for a Princess Serenity costume change.
I wish that is a dress that they would have done within this musical.
Yes.
So badly.
The Silver Crystal reveal was really cool. The power going into Tuxedo's body was wild. I was like, oh, because he like lifted his body up as the power went into him. I was like, oh my, it was haunting. It was so haunting.
Yeah.
Kunsight taking Tuxedo Mask away was amazing, and Star Moon screaming at the end of Act 1 again was like literally like I have a crying emoji next to it. It was like Star Moon screaming all caps, crying emoji.
I gotta watch her scream because Moon's scream had me tearing up. Like dang.
Yes.
And that's how it ends.
Yes.
And then, there's that too. But
the 2018 Moon version gave similar vibes. Like the Moon actress from the 2018 version, which is my favorite, definitely she was very emotional in that music. Like she really like threw herself into that. So it was like I definitely got those same vibes from the Star version of the 2024 version. And then we go into Act 2.
Act 2.
So we're going to kind of tackle this together. But I know that like when they opened up with Act 2, I really wish instead of them doing makeup, they would have done Sailor Teleport instead.
That would have been cool.
And then I in my notes, I said, I just realized, where's Artemis?
That's a good question. Where is Artemis? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I thought that it was an incredibly missed opportunity to have Artemis in there.
Even in like a silhouette form somewhere.
Yeah,
Just to
that's
be
what I'm
like, yeah,
saying. Like
it's here.
seriously. I did note that I did like the 2018-2019 appearance of Queen Serenity compared to the
This
2024 version.
version.
Yeah.
I like the 2024 version. That's interesting.
I said I think a remote Luna plush on Moon's shoulder or projection would have been better. I just Luna was just way too distracting for me. Venus and Kunzai in I felt the same way about the 2018-2019 version, where it's just like they just were so good together. I did know I wish that the Senshi got past dresses like in Le Reconquista.
That would be cool.
That would have been cool.
Mhm.
I was like, or they could have done like the 2018-2019 version, have silhouettes of their past versions. I was watching that last night, and it was still a bit distracting because the steno were not silhouetted, so the silhouettes couldn't get too close to them because
Because it would look weird.
right. And then they were and so it was like then the silhouettes went away, and then they were dancing with the senshi, and I'm like, okay, I need you guys to pick a lane and stay in the lane. Like, you want to stick with silhouettes, stick with silhouettes. If you want to dance with senshi, dance. Yeah, if you're gonna do the senshi, give them costume changes. Like the whole Sailor Teleport thing, or them going into the past. Like it could have been like Queen Serenity, like giving like a past history of Silver Millennium and stuff like that, while they changed into their past life costumes.
Outfits, yeah.
That would have been a good opportunity to take. The Queen Serenity in the 2024 version reminded me of Queen Serenity from Le Reconquista.
Yeah.
Memory no Aikyoku, which is the song that Tuxedo Mask and Sailor Moon sing together, reminded me of Can't Help Falling in Love with You by Elvis.
Yes, that's such a good comparison.
It was really good. And just like in the 2018-2019 version, Evil Endymion is something else.
100%. Oh, okay.
I love Beryl's BG background music. It was sad and dark, and it kind of reminds me of her song, which I think it's like Memory of Darkness, which is like my favorite Beryl song from the Nogimyu.
Yes.
So after the whole past life thing, they go back to the present, and Evil Tuxedo Mask is. I said, not Tuxedo Mask just walking around, swishing his cape everywhere. I felt that was kind of like a little bit over the top, but it was funny.
I think it suits him.
And so
it was very flamboyant.
Right. And by the time they get to Club Crown, I'm literally thinking, I'm like, why not just give the Stendo disguises? Like actual disguises. Like having them put on a mask or glasses or what have you. I'm like, we know who it is. Like give them a full disguise.
A full-blown disguise.
Right.
Let them get some costumes and stuff.
I did like the Club Crown scene. I thought that was a very interesting take to put in.
I think it's an interesting parallel to the Big Bang song earlier.
Yes. And Tuxedo was distracting me the entire time because I literally said Tuxedo and his cape LOL. Like it was just like like if you guys could see, like he's literally walking around like swishing his cape like every turn that he makes. It's like swish.
He's making it known that he's here. Usagi, follow me. Wow.
I love Naru and Umino, and I want Umino's outfit from this musical. I thought it was really cool.
Yes.
I said, I did make a note. I said, I wish the musical / anime kind of led up to Usagi calling Mamoru Mamo-chan, like in PGSM. She didn't call him Mamo-chan in PGSM, but it did take her a while to call him by his first name. I said, I like the mask of the Yoma, but was it necessary? Was my question. And I wonder why I said that, because maybe it's just something that, and Yeah, it was just like something I was like, really? Evil Mako-chan 8.
Yeah.
I was excited to see Venus transform. I said,
Yeah.
and then in my notes I say, I'll say it again, Queen Beryl 8. I
Yep.
said Sailor Venus 8. I said I think they could have done wire work with the darkness.
Yeah.
And I also kind of rewind a bit. I think they could have done wire work for the Sailor Teleport scene.
That would have been really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I said I definitely did not like it. I was not a fan of the dancers with their dark costumes and the dark kind of like to give the simulation that they are darkness. Mm-hmm. I was like, I wish they would have done like Leron Conquista or the Bandai with the big draped black curtains to kind of like give you a sense that darkness is immersing the entire stage.
It kind of reminded me of Pluto's entrance in
Yes.
the Restaurant where
Mm-hmm.
the dancer stuff.
Yeah. That definitely worked for that, but I don't think it works for like the darkness, kind of like to give the sense of like evil and how it's like consuming everything. I felt that maybe the draping curtains with the dancers probably would have gave it like a better sense of immersion.
Gotcha. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Again, I said Umino and Naru are the best. Again, I said Sailor Venus 8. I was like, Sailor Venus 8 in all caps. I definitely like the bit where they are remembering when they first meet Usagi, and Usagi's on the screen.
Yes! I love that so stinking much. Oh my gosh.
I definitely like that compared to the 2018-2019 version, because when I was watching it last night, I was a bit confused because they revived Sailor Moon and Sailor Moon's just standing there like a zombie. I'm like, what's going on? And then I realized, oh, they're doing the memory scene when they remember Usagi for the first time. I'm like, okay, I like the 2024 version better, where she's on the screen.
And the PGSM vibes to me. I
Yes!
won't go into further detail out of spoilers, but like that's what it reminded me of. I'm like, yes, remember this girly. Yes.
I definitely liked like two things. I liked when the Shtenno were beat by Queen Beryl, the gems being the Senshi Captain of Gems was definitely better interpreted in the 2024 version.
Mm-hmm.
And when they reappeared to Tuxedo Mask when he woke up was amazing. I think it's definitely better represented. Because I said Kunzite devoured in all caps. I did.
Kunzite,
yes, Kunzite definitely was. Yes, definitely a super highlight for me. I did know. I wished Sailor Moon used the Moonstick more.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a good opportunity. Just like with Tuxedo Mask having a cane or being able to use Tuxedo while smoking Bomber, because the only time he uses the Bomber attack is when he's evil.
Yeah, he's like Dark Bomber.
Yes.
So where's the other one?
I said the Senshi and Queen Serenity on the screen was cool in 2024 version. I thought that was really cool. I was like, I wish Sailor Moon got Moon Crystal power after beating Metalia, and the Senshi got Star power after being revived by Sailor Moon. I think that would have been a great way to kind of give a hint that they are moving on to the Black Moon arc, similar to how they see Chibiusa at the end as well. So
yeah.
So yeah, that was Act 2.
Okay.
So I didn't watch Team Moon. I just did some highlights. I did note that Sailor Moon has a higher pitched voice and has a very cutesy, energetic vibe compared to the Star version. Mercury in the Moon version is just as good as the Star version, but I actually prefer the Moon version.
Really?
I said Moon Jupiter looks so young, but I love her singing and her energy and her transformation hit. Like it was good.
She commanded the stage when she transformed and performed.
Moon Mars made me emotional. I don't know what she did, but I was like, oh my gosh.
She's wonderful.
Just like Mercury, I like both Venuses, and I did note that Team Moon definitely looks younger in comparison to the Star version.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's Act 2. I'm looking at my 2018 comparison notes.
I got post musical thoughts.
Yes, share us your post musical thoughts.
Okay. So Raka Yonume is so beautiful in this version. I believe that's the opening song. It was already a pretty song with nice visuals, but the wire work really makes it seem like Usagi is in a dream. The projections that are utilized really elevated the scene, and it reminded me of Chibiusa flying over everything with Helios within the anime, and arguably within some of the Bandai musicals. But it's very stunning. The costuming is great.
Mm-hmm.
It is a further understanding as to why they're blingy but simple, but it makes a lot of sense because of the wire work and stuff that they're doing. You don't want anything to get snagged. You want to make sure it's something that's durable and can handle being in the air and being under stress.
Right.
And I think it also works considering that the Nogimyu retelling of the Dark Kingdom arc, I'd say, is pretty faithful to the manga. So them having like manga-esque costumes in a musical that's kind of adapting that, I think is pretty neat. The updated sound effects, it's the little things. The updated sound effects, like Usagi sparkles when she transforms. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's definitely, in my opinion, different from the 2018, 2019. I think it's really nice.
Yeah. It was definitely a little bit more subdued in comparison to the 2018, 2019 version because from me listening to the soundtrack from the 2018, 2019 version, I could definitely see where I will say I can see where some sound effects are missing.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, where's the sound effect? It's supposed to be in here.
Where did you go?
Right.
Did they Control Alt Delete you?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, what else? And then of course Moon Tiara Boomerang. It was so cool, and I'll say at least for Team Moon's Moon, it was just such a moment of joy. Like, oh my gosh, I did this attack, and how she radiated that joy was just something that felt very Sailor Moon to me. Like, oh my gosh, I did this. And her actress portrayed that joy so stinking well. Space could do a lot, and I personally love the stage setup.
Right.
Like Sailor Moon rising up during Jupiter's makeup suite was everything.
Yes.
Every inch of space was used,
Yes.
and to me, it didn't feel like it was just one specific section. The only time that occurred was when the scene felt like it needed a remote setting, and even then.
Yeah.
I really loved Moon's Moon, Team Moon's Moon, very much so. She's a favorite for me, honestly, when it comes to like my list of moons that I enjoy. I really loved her cheery disposition, and I feel like her Sailor Moon at times personally reminded me of Hotaru.
Okay.
And,
oh wow.
Yeah, and Amor Eternal and Le Moment Finale, just because she is very big smiles and fun energy. Like Hotaru to me just smiles a whole lot within her performances, and her execution of Usagi and Sailor Moon, and that's what she reminded me of.
Again, Z, whenever I think you're going to go right, you go left. Because I seriously thought you were going to compare her to Anza, because I got Anza vibes from her.
That was second. But Hotaru came up first, because every time I think of her performance, it's just very big smiles.
Okay.
But in terms of Anza, since you brought that up, I'm kind of reminded of just the crybaby scenes and just really leaning into that whole like wah that whole thing that Anza does really, really well. And just pose work, random but pose work, like how Anza strikes poses and really commands the stage as Sailor Moon reminds me of how Moon's Moon did it in the 2024. Big Bang Rion Big Bang Theory was phenomenal. I love that song. Kunzai's vocals always slay in that song. The Generals outdid themselves with this musical, and the vocals were off the charts. I also really love their choreography moments within this song, as well as their intro song. Choreography is another one of those big things for me, and I really feel like they elevated the choreography within this musical.
They definitely did.
Like nothing was stagnant. Everything was very kinetic, and I love that so much because your eyes will always be captivated on something, like something is happening. Right. And then just all the songs in general were really phenomenal. Umeno Anatai was really pretty, and I love seeing the soft nod to the choreo utilized in previous versions of the song. And that's kind of my general gist of thoughts, like post musical wise. Like the songs were great, the costuming was great. The actresses, all the actresses were really, really phenomenal. I really loved how they did the stage. Like that's probably one of the big hits for me, just the stage. Because when you have a lot of space and you know how to use that space,
Right.
that can do numbers.
Yes.
And just everything was just really executed very well,
Yes.
in my opinion. And I really hope, I don't think this would happen, but I really hope that they could continue this and do the other storylines with this type of production budget,
Right.
what have you,
Yes.
you know?
I agree.
It'd be so cool.
Okay.
That's kind of my gist. I might think about the things. That's like my post.
Okay. So what I'll go ahead and do is I will go ahead and do a comparison with the 2018 version, just to give you an idea of kind of like the differences between the two, and plus some like initial thoughts that I have from the 2018. I watched the Moon version because that was the first Nogimyu that I watched and I liked. We love Mikako as Tuxedo.
Yes.
I love the way she sings Serenity in the songs.
Yes.
I definitely did note that the LED screens were better in my opinion, especially like in Usagi's dream sequence, but I like the wire work from 2024 better. And I think that, you know, if they kind of like did that, kind of like intermix the two, I think it would have been even better. I did say that the original run was more distracting with the stairs and the stage hands everywhere. So I think that that's kind of like why I wasn't really paying too much attention, because I was distracted by seeing things or people in the scene that necessarily weren't supposed to be there. I felt that the LED screens gave a better sense of the scene. Like I was saying, like when Usagi's running to school, she's running, like the screen shows that she's running through the city. Puppet Luna is just a no for me. In both versions, yes. I said I did like the doors and the windows rather than the pretend classroom in the new musical. Umino and Naru are just as cute in the original as they are in the 2024 version. I did note that the Naru actress from the 2018-2019 version could be like a Mercury and Miyu. I said, I wonder if Mikako took notes from Yuga for her portrayal of Tuxedo Mask, because
it's very similar.
Yes. I think this is also where I noted, I was like, why couldn't Luna just be a true puppet and handled by strings from the rafters, or doing a silhouette with the screen, or an actress? The random prop dancers were weird in the original. So it's like, I do like in the 2024 version where it's like her clock is actually a clock and her mirror is actually a mirror, and it's not some weird person wearing a mirror.
The visuals are definitely they're up there.
I like the silhouettes of the Shinno from the original version because it gave like a sense of mystery as to who was talking rather than them just appearing right away.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I felt that the masks were scarier in the original run than they were in the 2024 version.
I felt like they were terrifying in 2024, especially Mamoru's when he woke up. I was like, "Good lord!"
Yeah, that did scare me.
I'm scared. That scared me.
The coverings are still a no for me. I did know that there were more sound effects in the original than in comparison to the 2024 version. Still, I love the costuming better in the 2024 version. I can't give up the clown bows.
The clown bows.
Again, Kunzite was a highlight for me in both versions. I love the Kunzite in the 2018-2019 version. They also played Taiga's Eye, and they were phenomenal in Amore Eternal. I definitely love the new uniforms in comparison to the 2018-2019 version. The Shinno casting is always like top notch. Like I have not been disappointed at all. Again, the coverings. I keep saying the coverings.
It works on stage when you're far away.
Okay.
But
like if you squint, you're going to see it.
Yeah, like it blends well, but if you're up close, it's like.
Yes, I love Mercury Suite in the original 2018-2019 version. I did notice a difference in the choreography because Mercury sits down and the 2024 version, which I'm wondering why they decided to change it, because in the original run, she was all over the place. Like I love her, like you were saying, like I love it when you're utilizing all of the stage space.
Yep.
I feel like Zoisite was more energetic in the 2024 version in comparison to the 2018 version. I loved Mars in the original, and her costuming was less obvious in comparison to the new run. So I think like in the 2018-2019 version, she wears a neck cover to hide like her choker, and she's not wearing her high heels. But if you watch the 2024 version, she has her heels on, but when she appears again, she has the gloves and the choker on, because you know she's getting ready to transform. So it's like, you're taking away my suspension of disbelief. I said yes. I said I love Mars. I like Ray's costume is less obvious compared to the new run, and I said, "Oops, spoke too soon. Here come the gloves and the heels." I thought Jadeite was really cool in the 2018-2019 version. I could see them playing like a Uranus or one of the Starlights in a Mew. I can't get with the fake bus in either version. Like you could have given me a cardboard bus and it would have been.
you would. I don't know. I like it when you have to use your imagination a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, they're on a bus.
I think I don't know. I don't remember if the 2024 version had the handles, but in the 2018-2019 version, they had handles, which kind of like gave you a better sense of what they were doing.
They had handles in 2024.
But the fake bus did irk me. I said Mars 8 in the 2018-2019 version. She had a deeper voice. Again, give Tuxedo Mask a weapon or an attack.
Please.
The one thing I noticed about the 2018-2019 version, Jadeite, is he does this weird side glance and grin, and it reminds me of Mamoru's grimace from PGSN when he's always like trying to look like he's in pain. Because it's because Jadeite will talk at the musical and then they'll like look to the side and like do this. I'll send you a picture later, but it's hilarious. Beryl, once again, 8th, loved her voice. So they did really good with the Beryl castings as well. Ami Nojo as Jupiter kind of like stole the show for me, as far as like it's probably my favorite portrayal of Jupiter. She just stole the role. I did note that I like the masquerade dresses in the original 2018-2019 version in comparison to the 2024 version. Again, give the Steno real disguises. I said Mikako was smooth like butter. I did like that they changed from the chandelier in the 2018-2019 version for Jupiter to something
to the building.
I thought that was definitely a better showcase of her strength. I said I definitely appreciate the wire work in the new run, because using the stairs with the stagehands moving it around kind of like took away from it. So I think that when you're watching a video version of it, they're able to like get you a closer shot of that scene, so it's less distracting. I just can't imagine what it's like for somebody sitting on like watching it from the audience, and if I feel like if I was there, I'd be too busy looking at the people at the bottom move the stairs around.
I love me some new wire work. Hasn't been seen since La Reconquista, so I'm happy that they brought it back.
Yes. Love Sailor Venus. She ate. I'm glad they got rid of the little heart laser prop that she had from the 2018-2019 version and gave her actual chain.
I like that too.
I did note that Team Moon was emotional, so I definitely got similar vibes with the Team Star version of the 2024 version. I still think we could have seen Princess Serenity. The whole melting face thing with fixing a mask had me shook.
That's what scared the crap out of me.
I was shook.
Oh my lord!
The gasp I gasped.
I was clutching my pearls in my bed, like, oh Lord.
I was like, I think it would have been cool to see them use Sailor Teleport rather than makeup. In the original version, I was like, I think they could have used the stairs or wire work in the new run for the Sailor Teleport scene. I think it would be really cool to see them all flying around. Queen Serenity was amazing. I think I like the Silhouette's voiceovers from the original run, and they could have kept it in the new run or did a costume change. I do like the projections better. I feel like they were better conveyed in the original run in comparison to the 2024 version. The evil tuxedo mask in both versions just was wild.
Let you know that's not Mamoru.
Yes. And
that's not him.
Yeah, and I definitely like the video montage of them remembering meeting Usagi for the first time rather than the original run. I feel like if you like it will take you a minute to catch on, like, oh, she's not actually talking to them, they're remembering her because she's not with them, right? So I think for me it was like in the original run you really had to use your imagination and critical thinking to know where you are in that particular version of the musical, where the staging and the pacing and the use of the LED screens kind of like gave you a better sense of what was going on. But yeah, that was the 2024 version was good. I definitely say it captured my attention better than the original, especially like the club crown scene, because when I was watching it last night, I noted that Usagi is literally just Sailor Moon wearing a jacket, because she had her Sailor Moon boots and her hair barrettes and stuff like that. Whereas like in this version,
they gave them like casual outfits, right?
Yeah, in the 2024 version, they actually made a point to cover up. Like the one time you don't want to use coverings. I was like, but they did actually cover it up with like little fur to make it look like more of a winter outfit. And the gloves, well, like with it being a winter scene, them having their gloves on made more sense.
Yep.
So I'm glad that they like saw where they could improve and stuff like that, because I was like, she's literally just wearing a jacket in the 2018-2019 version. I was like, really?
Really?
But yeah, I think that was pretty good.
It was pretty good. Like it was just. Oh, say your thoughts.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, say your thing.
No, say your thing.
No, say your thing.
No, you do it.
No, because I feel like what you're gonna say is probably what I was gonna say. So you say your thing.
No, you can go ahead. Go first.
Oh my gosh, I was just gonna say that it was just really good, and it exceeded the expectations that I had for it after seeing like the initial marketing promo that they started releasing for it. Like it looked like it was going to be good. It was good. It was great. It was great. It was great.
Yes, I think this is definitely a true kaiteiban, a true revision of the original run, which I could definitely appreciate now, given that context. And I'm glad that we were able to kind of like do this kind of like last minute, because it was just like, you told me that the musical's available to watch, and I'm like,
yeah, shouts out to Musical Spears, you're a real one. It was like 3 a.m. I was like, oh my goodness, what?
Right. So I think that, if anyone is looking to get into Sailor Moon musicals, I think Nogimyu is a great way to get an idea. I think it's like a great way to like Nogimyu or Kaguya Hime, maybe like the music, like Chronicle or I Know Sanctuary are great ways to kind of like dip your toes into the musical version of Sailor Moon. Yeah. And then if you feel courageous, I would definitely say like go watch. It's like it's funny because it's like Bandai is like the anime where it's like it has a whole bunch of musicals for you to watch.
So
And-
stinking many.
And Nelke is kind of like the crystal version of Bandai, where it's like it's shorter and a more comprehensive and and stuff like that to the original story. Like it sticks to more of the source material than the Bandai did. And I feel like Nogimyu and I Know Sanctuary or the Chronicle are kind of like the movie versions, or like Kaguya Hime are kind of like the movie versions of the musical, where it's like you're not ready to do a deep dive into the musicals, but you want to see what people are talking about, so you watch those.
See what the songs and the hoopla are about. Oh my gosh, that reminds me, the service numbers that they performed at the end. Loved every bit of it. Like, it's so cool, and I guess it makes me feel old, even though I'm not that old. But like the fact that like "You're My Universe" is now kind of like a service number song, and it being performed at the end, that gave me chills. I was like, "What? This is a service number song now? Okay! Oh my gosh!" I loved it.
I didn't watch the service numbers. Oh my gosh, I know. I'm glad you brought it up because I did not.
I always watch service numbers. I was enthused because they always do like the Moonlight, whatever song, and then it's like, okay, what are they gonna perform? And then you hear the beats, and then it's Lost Soldier, and it's like, oh my gosh, yes. And then you hear more beats, and then it's You're My Universe. Oh my goodness, yes. And I think they also, no, I don't know if they performed that in Starshine. That might have been in 2018. I love service numbers, y'all. So I'm gonna sit and watch them. I love them. I think they're cool. They're cool. They're good too.
I was like, it's over. Turn it off.
Finally, 3 hours. Shut off computer.
And I think that's what
All
it
right.
was. It was like,
I don't blame you. Like, they're long musicals. They are really stinking long.
I was like, this is 3 hours long. And I'm trying to remember like when I watched them, because I was texting you when I was watching it. So hold on, let me check.
And I was so giddy. I was like, oh my gosh, I'll watch it tonight. I'm watching it tonight.
April 29th was when I watched it. And when was that? Oh, it was a Thursday. No, it was a Monday. That's why I couldn't stay up to watch the service numbers. I had to work.
Oh. Well, that's completely okay.
Yeah. So I was, you know what? I was off that day. So I was off that day. I watched it, but I still had to go to bed to get up and to go to work.
Yeah.
That's what happened because I was off on Monday. So I was off Monday. I was like, oh, I'm here. Let me go ahead and watch it. And I was like, okay.
Gonna cut this off now. It's okay. You didn't miss too terribly much, but
right.
I always like hearing like different interpretations of like
what is wrong with
new anthems.
Because I totally lied. It was 10 o'clock in the morning. I didn't have to go to bed. I just didn't want to watch service numbers. Let me just tell the truth.
It's okay. Like genuinely, when you're sitting through like 2.5 hours of a musical, and then you got like 20 more minutes of songs and possible conversation, because I'm pretty sure it was the Senshiraku version of everything.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. You just want to just go sit outside.
I was like, it's
process
lunchtime.
everything, just talk. Yeah. Gotta go eat.
Right. So any final thoughts, Z, on this review episode?
I don't have any. Go watch musicals.
Yes.
Go watch the Mew. You genuinely will not regret it.
Right.
I don't think.
Definitely check out csserenity.net. These are my final thoughts, by the way. Check out csserenity.net. Check out the Discord if you are willing and able. You'll be able to watch the latest musical. I think it's enjoyable. Definitely set aside 3 hours of your time. Get your popcorn, get your snacks, get your what me and my friends call zoom zooms and wham whams. Get your snacks together.
I love that so much.
Get your zoom zooms and your wham whams and sit down and watch the musical. I think it was really enjoyable. Definitely probably one of the best Nogimyus that I've seen since 2018, 2019. I'm hoping that this is a step towards future Nogizaka46 musicals. Like I'm hoping that they'll actually do a series of musicals now that they have like, you know, solid costumes and stuff like that. You know, I would love to see like, and maybe that's what this is, choosy. Like, you know, maybe they decided to go with these versions of the costumes so we can get Sailor Pluto, Sailor Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn. You know,
I'd cry my eyeballs out.
Oh my gosh.
Like the different versions of Moon's Fukus in this particular style.
If this could be the next level Nell K, I would be so happy.
I would be so giddy. You'd be sick of me. Everybody would be sick of me. Like, if they announced a second musical right now, prepare to be sick of me.
Right.
Prepare to be sick of me.
Right. It's like it's like prepare for more bonus episodes for Moonlight Justice because we're gonna be watching, we're gonna be reviewing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna end it there. Thank you for joining us for our base. This is our first review. So we're really this is our first review episode. Like we've never like sat down and like reviewed something in its entirety. So this is really exciting. I hope we get to do more stuff like this later down the road. I think that'd be cool.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. All right, but that's everything. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh. It's the zoom zooms and wham whams for me. That made my whole afternoon. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh, that's cute.
Yes. Add it to your vocabulary with your
excellent.
Like, go get zoom zooms and wham whams.
What are those? Well, you see, hair toss.
Snacks
that's
and
great.
goodies.
That was so fun. I'm so
was.
happy we reviewed this. That was so fun.